name's Mary Ellis. I'm Jessica's aunt.
Alright, what kind of childhood did you have?
I had a very good childhood. I was raised in a mill village with two younger brothers who pestered me all the time.
When were you born?
In 1942, in June.
Where did you meet your spouse?
My husband and I went to school together through the whole time we were in school, from first grade through 12th, and I thought he was really a nerd. And we didn't start dating or talking to each other until the 12th grade.
What kind of neighborhood did you live in?
We were raised in the mill village, and that was a great place. I'd love for my kids to be able to grow up there now. Everybody was so close, and it was like a family.
What did your room or house look like?
Well, sometimes it was a one-story mill village house, and sometimes it was a two-story mill village house. And being the only girl at home, I always had a room of my own.
What is your favorite type of music?
Well, I like country music better than anything else, but I do occasionally listen to some other things.
What do you think is your greatest accomplishment so far in your life?
Well, I guess my kids and my husband, he's still happy, or seems to be, and they've grown up to be nice, productive people and with kids of their own, and that makes me pretty happy.
What do you wish you could do over in your life if you could?
Well, if I could go back and know exactly what I know now, I'd go back to high school days, and I'd study a little bit harder, and I'd go to college then instead of having to do all that stuff now.
How do you want to be remembered by your children and descendants?
As a loving, caring person.
What kind of vacations did you take when you were young?
Oh, now that's easy. We went to the beach, us and everybody in the neighborhood, because usually only one person had a car, and so everybody would get in that one car and sit on top of each other and go to the beach. Now, going wasn't too bad, but coming back was terrible because everybody had a sunburn and nobody wanted anybody else to touch them, and it was pretty hard not to touch your neighbor when you were sitting on their lap.
Where have you been and how did you get there?
Oh, let's see. I've been to Memphis, to your house when you were a baby, and to Missouri, to where my grandmother lived, and to Florida to see you when you lived there, and to Georgia to see my daughter, and I've been to Pennsylvania to see my cousins that live there, and we took a camping trip to Canada one year when Timmy was only a year old. So that was pretty interesting. And all those places that I've been, we've driven a car. I don't think we flew anywhere.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I'd go to Australia. I'd like to see the outback.
Where would you live anywhere in the world if you could?
You know what I'd really like to do if I could live anywhere I could? I'd like to buy the area that I lived in when I was a baby, what was called the Mill Village then. And it's cleared off now, there's no houses on it. And I'd like to buy that whole area and build me a house right smack in the middle of it.
Would you consider would you consider yourself a happy person or a sad person?
Oh, I'm a very happy person.
Do you like to have your picture taken?
No.
What is your favorite holiday and why?
I guess my favorite one would have to be Christmas, because then all the kids come home for Christmas morning. Well, actually, they come home Christmas Eve night, and we have a big dinner, and then they come back Christmas morning, and we open all the gifts, and all the grandkids are sitting on the floor, and it's going to be a pile of them this year with 6 grandkids.
What's your least favorite holiday and why?
I don't have a least favorite.
If you could be any animal, what kind of animal would you be?
I'd like to be an old house cat, just lays around, does nothing, and purrs all the time.
How do you think this interview went? Are you happy with it or sad with it?
Well, I guess I'm pretty happy with it. I didn't get tickled.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.